and welcome to the Evan Carmichael Show. I am your host, Evan Carmichael. I believe in entrepreneurs. I believe in you. I believe that you can change the world, and I'd like to help you do it. Today is an exciting show. Today is one of the most important shows that I've ever done on radio, and I'm excited. The topics today: 1, how to get inspired with your company. 2, thanking the people who've helped you. 3, marketing. This one is so important. The biggest mistake that most entrepreneurs make with marketing, how you can avoid it. And then 4, bringing on a team without sucking up and wasting your time. I have my Frappuccino in hand, and I'm ready to get started. You need to get inspired. For anybody who's listened to my show ever, you know that I believe that you have to be passionate about your business. If you are not excited about your business, if you are not starting from a deep passion, you won't achieve success, period. So I'm going to assume we've already done that. If you're not passionate, close it down, start something else, because it's so paramount, it's important. But even if you are super passionate about your business, you still can have trouble getting inspired. It's hard, right? It's hard getting up every day and going to work and doing your thing. And there are some days you're on top of the world and other days where you're right at the bottom. And as entrepreneurs, we have the ability to create an environment that inspires us. So you want to do that for your company. You want to give yourself inspiration on a daily basis to help you get up and do what you do. I recently went to go watch the movie Jobs. It's the profile of Steve Jobs, how he got started. I saw it twice with 2 different friends, and both times I left the movie feeling empowered, inspired, ready for action, and I learned some new things from that I put to use in my business. And I do this on a regular basis. I surround myself with things that inspire me. People, activities, events that lift me up and inspire me instead of bringing me down. And you have the opportunity to do the same thing for your business. You're not working at some 9-to-5 job where you are forced to work for a boss that you hate, or forced to work with coworkers, or forced to work on projects that you don't want to work on. You get to pick everything. So make the choice and make it powerful and choose things that build you up. Think about some of the things in your life. Think about the things that you're offering. Think about the people that you surround yourself with. Think about the events that you go to and the things that you watch. Do they build you up? Do they inspire you? Do they give you new ideas and hope and energy? Or do they tear you down? I stopped watching the nightly news because it's all negative. There's nothing positive there. There's no inspiration there for me. I stopped reading the newspaper. Same thing. It's all negative news. I stopped hanging around people who didn't believe in what I was doing. And you can make the same powerful choices. Think about 3 things in your life that you can change. 3 habits, 3 things that you're doing that do not support you. And think of ways to replace them with more powerful, more supportive, more uplifting, more inspirational habits. So, for example, instead of watching the nightly news, maybe you turn on an inspirational movie like Steve Jobs. Instead of reading the newspaper, maybe you pick up a famous entrepreneur biography of someone who you respect and look up to and learn from them. Instead of hanging around with people who think your idea is crap and keep putting you down, hang around the people who build you up, who give you ideas and lift you. You have a unique opportunity here to create an environment that inspires you. So make that choice powerfully. Think about the people that you hang out with. Okay? If you have a toxic environment, if you're hanging out with toxic people, you're reading toxic information, you're surrounded by toxic things, how can you expect to build an amazing business? It's not going to happen. And even if you love what you do and you have an immense passion for your business, it's still going to be hard to get up every day and go to work and do it. So make that choice powerfully and create an environment that supports you every day, giving you ideas and motivation to help you grow your business. I created my YouTube channel, and right now we're doing 2 videos a day. I created that as a tool to help uplift entrepreneurs. There's not enough positive information out there, and not just strategies. The strategies help. You need to have the strategies to grow your business. But you also need the motivational boost. You need that inspiration. So find a habit every day to help support what you're doing. It's so paramount. If you surround yourself with toxic people, toxic things, in a toxic environment, you're not going to have success. If you replace those habits with things that are more empowering and more inspirational, you give yourself a much better chance at achieving the success that you're after. So I'm going to get to the questions. We have Nikki on the line. Nikki, where are you from and how can I help?
Hi, I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the question that I actually had is, I've been working on trying to figure out how to start my makeup line. Everything has been sketched out, but the only thing is I don't know where actually to start, to know where to get the financial help, or should I find an investor to help me start everything?
Okay. How much money do you need?
Everything that I researched in roughly around $50,000 to even start anywhere with the samples and everything from the places that I researched in California that makes makeup.
And what is the money going to be used for?
The samples for the people to actually start making the samples, and the product itself that holds the makeup inside.
Okay. Can you think of a way to bootstrap this? Not go out and get money. Can you do it without investing money into it?
If I could make it myself, I'm pretty sure I would be able to do that. But me not having all the products or knowledge itself of how to even start with the plastics and the things to actually that holds the makeup inside. Now, the makeup itself, the eyeliner, yeah, sure I can make that myself.
Can you start with that as a product?
The makeup itself, no.
No, just the eyeliner.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So a big thing with entrepreneurs, raising money is tough. It's hard, and it can be a full-time job getting out there to get capital for your business. And right now, if you go out, what's your personal credit like? You have good personal credit?
It's fair.
Okay. So nobody's going to give you money without a personal guarantee. Like a banker will not give you money without a personal guarantee. An investor coming on is going to take a huge chunk of your company. So the best way to get started is to bootstrap it. Find something that you can start with, that you can make yourself. If you look at any of the most successful makeup companies, how they got started, it's usually the entrepreneur themselves in their kitchen, in their basement, putting something together, and eventually it blows up to be a huge company.
Okay.
So if you can get started on the eyeliner and make it amazing, is there something like really unique about your eyeliner that's different than everybody else?
Yes, it's very unique, actually. It definitely will stand out above the rest.
How come?
And I feel like for one, I feel like every woman has been waiting on an eyeliner that actually will not dirty up their purse. As a woman, I mean, walking around with a makeup bag that you pull out of your purse and it looks like you're just a filthy person because, you know, the makeup melts or either the lid comes off inside your purse. This is definitely something that's different, stands completely out. Everyone will be waiting for this, and it's going to be 4-in-1.
So this is great. So you have an opportunity here with one amazing product that you can make yourself without spending a ton of money on that could launch your business.
Yeah, I definitely know that was my overall issue. Literally, this has been in the works for 10 years now. This is a dream of mine that I've been dealing with.
We got to start making this happen. So don't wait another 10 years before this thing launches because you don't have the money to do it. Start today. Start simple. Start with that eyeliner. Get it out. Kill it with it, and then you can expand to other products.
Thank you so much.
All right?
All right.
It's so important. If you just spend 10 years of your life without chasing your dream, you got to take action. You got to do something today to make that thing go forward. I believe in entrepreneurs, and I want to see you grow a huge company. Part of that is going to come from recognizing and thanking the people who helped get you to where you are. Even if you're just in startup mode and haven't gone far yet, there's still people who have helped you along your path. Friends, family, colleagues who believed in you, who gave you some support. It's important to thank them. When was the last time you reached out to anybody in your network and just said, thank you so much for what you've done for me? a key component to success is gratitude. And knowing that you feel so grateful for the people who've helped you get to where you are. Let them know. Appreciate them. Reach out to them. Every week I do a YouTube video now where I thank somebody on my network, somebody who's helped me get to where I am. It's a personal video. I post it on YouTube so others can share as well. But you don't have to do a video, but you have to reach out to people. Let them know that you appreciate their help. Send them an email. Take them out for coffee or lunch. Pick up the phone and talk to them. Send them a letter. Send them some flowers. Something. Think about 5 people who have helped you get to where you are today. 5 people who have impacted your life. And reach out to them to say thank you. It'll make you feel better. It'll give you more positive energy that you can pump into your business. It'll make them feel better. And if you show that gratitude and develop a habit of gratitude, people will want to keep helping you out. And you're going to need help. You cannot do this alone. You will need help to build the company that you want to build. So get into the practice of thanking the people genuinely who have helped you. Think of 5 people today that you can reach out to. Get in touch. Doesn't have to be expensive. Doesn't have to take a lot of time. Put some thought into it. It'll change your day and start to change your business. Let's get to the calls. I have Michael on the line. Michael, where are you from and how can I help?
Well, I'm from Utah, living in New York, getting ready to go back to Utah.
All right. What's the story? What's happening?
Well, I come from, I'm actually a singer, and a professional singer, I should say, and one day I just sat and said, hey, what am I going to do when I start to get a vibrato like Bert Lahr, and somebody says, hey, you should stop doing that. And I really feel that, as vintage singers, we have an obligation to share what we've learned. And I feel that my voice teacher, who laid my foundation, really knew what he was talking about. It was a very specific and unique technique about voice building, as opposed to being a voice teacher or a voice coach, about being able to sing healthily. In a kind of a simple explanation, believe that, if you want a big body, you lift weights and you do things like that. His exercises were designed to exercise the muscles in the throat so that you didn't strain and you didn't lose your voice. And so at 60, I think my voice sounds better than it was when I thought in my prime, when I was in my 20s.
Very cool. Do you have a business question?
Well, my question is that I've gathered this group of people that are kind of the fruit of this voice teacher's tree, and we're trying to put together a kind of an online studio whereby students, instead of wasting that hour and a half coming to us, that we are able to economically, go using PayPal or some other means of paying for them to book one of the singers within our technique group. And then develop a I call it a singer silencer. It's a device that we're kind of working on to allow you to rehearse in your apartment and do these exercises without annoying the neighbors.
So are you going to do coaching via Skype? Is that the idea, or you want to sell this
Kind
product?
of, yeah. I actually looked into, I found what inspired this was that I saw that the University of Pittsburgh was doing online seminars or on a specific type of vocal technique. And I thought, hey, that could be applied really to share this technique. And it's not really money motivated, although we all want to eat, but it's about sharing the art.
So what's your problem right now in getting it going?
Well, we have kind of all the elements, and we're kind of at a, what do we do? We got a website, we have, do we copyright the idea? Do we, we're kind of at that stage where it's kind of all the pieces are there. We're just not exactly sure where to start with them.
So you need to market it?
Yeah, how are we going to do that? I mean, we have Facebook and we have Twitter. We're learning about how to manipulate those. We all have access to, groups of people and that would be, interested in doing it to be able to reach a wider audience. But,
can you think of people who you can partner up with, just a marketing partnership, not part of your business, who have access to the students that you're looking for?
Well, we kind of have access to the students. We don't have the skill to actually put it into effect.
How come?
In other words, we hired somebody to kind of do a website for us. We're not really getting what we need out of it, and it should be a real simple thing. But in my brain, there should be who's available. Here's the link. You pay your whatever, and then they give you the code to call. A simple thing. But do I need to copyright this whole thing first, or do I not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you don't need to copyright it. You just got to get out there and start getting some customers. You don't even need to build through a complicated website. The website could just be a marketing brochure. You could get this started with Skype, with Google+, and on the homepage you just say, here's your PayPal button, here's the whatever it is, $50 an hour.
Right.
And then you
do we need a web page? Can it be done like through Facebook and things like that? And
You can. I mean, it's more the marketing. So the technology itself is not super complicated. It's how are you going to get the message out? And a great way to do it is to partner up. If you have access to these students, you just have to let them know this thing exists. And have a simple page with your message clear, loud, easy for people to understand.
Right.
PayPal button here. Like, if you have the students, that's the hard part.
Yeah, we don't have the technical skills to set that PayPal thing and all that up. So what kind of person would we want to partner up with that would be able to do that kind of stuff for us?
You could
would
do
it be
it
a web
through,
guy or?
You can. You could do it through just PayPal itself. You can set up a quick account, and it's not that difficult.
Yeah, I have an account, but the linking and all that stuff is where we get into the complications.
Yeah. And if you're going to make this big, it does help to have a web guy on board who kind of knows what he's doing. Surround yourself with people who complement your weaknesses. It's not super difficult, but it may be worth checking your network to see if you have somebody who can do that component for you, because you're going to waste your time.
Yeah, that seems to be what we've been doing, and we're all afraid of talking about it louder and having somebody steal the thing out from under us.
Start with your network. Somebody has to have a nephew, a niece, a grandchild somewhere to set this up for you. It's not that complicated to get started, but make sure you get started and you bring the people on board who can help you.
Okay.
Okay? Good luck. Sounds like an exciting idea. I believe in entrepreneurs, and I want to see you build the company of your dreams. To do that, you have to understand marketing. I get so many entrepreneurs who call into this show, who write me on email, who hit me up on Twitter and social media, and they are at their wits' end. You've invested your life savings into your business. You think you have a great product or service. You're doing everything you can, working crazy hours, and for whatever reason, things are just not taking off. And you're wondering, how can I market my business so people know about me? If I could fix my marketing, I could save my company. Most entrepreneurs get their marketing wrong. If you want people to talk about you, to spread the word, then you need to give them a reason to talk about you. Most businesses are boring in the way they promote themselves. And so you're not going to get amazing results by being boring, by being average. There are three main ways to market a business. Level one, this is what most people do. They say what they do. So if you're a landscaper, you say, I cut grass. I'm a landscaper, I cut grass. Boring. Wrong. Nobody's going to pay attention. I've already forgotten your business. You have to stand for something more. Next level up is, instead of talking about the features of what you sell, you're talking about the benefits you provide. So instead of saying, I cut grass, I'm a landscaper, you talk about how you save people time. You offer convenience. You make their house look beautiful. You make their neighbors jealous. Those are some benefits that you're offering. That's the next step up. And if you do that, you'll have some success. You're much better off than being in that first category. But if you really want to make progress on your marketing, the third level, the one that most people never get to, the biggest mistake that entrepreneurs make, is there's no feeling with their marketing. There's no feeling behind their company. Marketing is about values. People want to know what you stand for. That's what's memorable. You want to stand out, you have to stand for something. And the first two that we talked about are about making people think. This one is about making people feel. You have to create a feeling around your business. Pick one word that defines you as a person. Pick one word that is so important to you. Forget about your company for now. Pick one word that defines you. Let's say it's family. I think family is everything to you. You love your family. You do everything for your family. You are defined by your family. Now bring that into your business. How do you bring family into a landscaping company? You do it by treating your customers like family. You let people know that when they come and work with your business, they're going to be part of your family. That's what you believe in. You don't say you're going to go cut somebody's grass. You say you're going to cut it like it was your own. You're going to cut their grass like it was your lawn. You're going to trim their hedges like it was your mother's property. That makes people feel important. That gives them a feeling to connect to, instead of just saying, I cut grass. So figure out what that one word is for you. What is it that makes you special? What is it that you read that word, it gets you excited? Yes, that's what I believe in. And then use that in all of your marketing. Make people feel before you ask them to do something. That's a message that's worth spreading. That's something that people will talk about, and that's how you take your marketing to the next level. I want to get to the calls. I have Joshua on the line. Joshua, what's going on? Where are you from, and how can I help?
Hello, I am from Milton Center, Ohio, farm country.
Farm country, all right.
Yeah. And my question is, how do you move just a product idea forward? How do you get that initial jump?
What's your business idea?
Well, I like watches. I'm thinking about something with the watch. I'm not really for sure how to go about it. I don't know if I have to have a prototype built or.
What are you trying to do?
Make watches.
Watches. Okay, I didn't hear that properly. You want to make your own line of watches?
Yes.
What's wrong with the watches that are out there right now?
I just don't feel like they have enough design that is marketed towards younger people.
Okay.
Most of them I see are big, gaudy, usually for older and rich people that have money.
Okay. So you want designed watches for the everyday guy?
Correct.
All right. What's your background in watches? Have you ever done anything with watches?
No, I have not. I just know I want to do something with business. My grandparents owned a mom and pop store, and I seen the fun they had. They enjoyed it, and right now I'm in college, so.
Well, why watches over something else?
I just like watches. I just have a thing for watches.
Okay, no, that's good. You want to start it around your passion. I just want to make sure that watches is something you love doing, and it's not just, hey, why don't I do watches?
Right, exactly.
Right? Like you've loved watches your whole life?
Ever since I was in high school, I started working, got some money, then bought my first watch, and I just didn't stop.
All right, that's good. That's a good step. Have you ever done anything in business before?
No, never.
Okay. Like have you worked at your parents' mom and pop shop?
Right.
Okay. Really, my advice here is to start getting a little bit more experience in your field. So it's great to have this plan for a watch company, but if you don't know what you're doing, you've never done anything with watches before besides being a collector, then you could dump serious cash into this company and it fails on you.
Right.
I would try to go work for a watch company that you look up to. Not one of the big ones, but look for a smaller company that you can go get an internship from, learn from them, learn the ropes, get some contacts, get some experience, so that when you're ready to launch, you have a lot under your belt already.
Right. And the thing is, how people say, never use your own money when starting a business. But how do you get a investors to trust you, like, hey, this is going to work, and now we're going to lose our money?
Yeah, it's critical. You want investors to trust you, you got to give them something that they can believe in. Right? I know you're in the early stages now. That's okay. That's cool. That's where a lot of the excitement is. But if you went to an investor now, they're not going to give you anything.
Right.
Right? Like, you don't really know what you're doing yet. You have kind of a vision to design watches for the everyday guy. That's cool. But, you got no track record, no business experience. So imagine somebody comes to you and says, hey, give me money to start this business, but I've never done anything before. And, I have a concept, but I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. You're not going to give them the money, right?
Right.
So the best thing is you have to learn about this business.
Right. Now,
You're still in college, you said?
Yeah.
Is there a company that you could do an internship with or work part-time with in the watch business that you can learn from?
In my area, I'm not sure. I have to check on that. I don't think I have a watch company here.
Okay. Anybody related to watches? It could be a watch retailer, anything related to watches, you can start to learn the business.
Right.
The thing is, you want to learn while still getting paid, right? Like if you start a company now and you take on money, you're gonna probably lose it all because you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, and that's fair for where you are.
Right.
If you can learn while still getting paid by somebody else, you make all your mistakes on their dime. Then when you're ready to launch, you know more of what you're doing. Like if you go work for a watch retailer, say there's no manufacturer in your area, but a retailer, and you learn how to sell watches, that could be a huge benefit for you when you go out and try to sell your own products.
Right. And another thing I hear people say, is a business degree really worth it?
So switching gears a little bit there, you know what? It's always good to have something to fall back on. There are a lot of entrepreneurs who have dropped out of college and had some success with it, but I personally believe that there's still, value to it. It's good to have an education just in case the entrepreneurship thing isn't for you. Like you've never started your business. You don't know if this is going to work out or not.
Right.
Right? Entrepreneurship is hard. It's fun, but it's hard and it's not for everybody.
Right.
I started my business part-time when I was in university. And when I graduated, instead of going to get a job, I continued on with my business. And I said, I give myself 1 year to do this. And if that doesn't work out, then I'll go back and take those jobs. And I never went back to get the job because it took off.
Right.
What I would recommend, staying in school, finish your degree, start part-time, learn about the business, see if it's for you, get some experience, make a little money while working at a watch retailer, learn the ropes, so when you're ready to launch, you have everything you need to be successful.
All right.
Okay?
Well, thank you, sir.
No problem, Joshua. Good luck. And for everybody who's listening, you're in the same boat, you're trying to launch your business, don't just launch in if you've never done anything before. That's a recipe for failure. You're going to lose your money. You're going to lose your investors' money. Learn about the business. See if it's for you. Welcome back to the Evan Carmichael Show. I believe in entrepreneurs and want to see you be successful. And part of that is bringing on a team. You can't do everything yourself. If you want to be a huge success, you have to get people under you. And I know it's a huge problem for a lot of entrepreneurs. You finally decide to grow. You put out an ad. You got to promote the ad. You got to screen candidates. You have to interview people. Finally, you have somebody who you think is a good fit. You bring them on board. Then you have to train them for a couple months. You train them, and then they leave. Or you fire them because they're not going to work out. It's so frustrating, and then a lot of entrepreneurs just say, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to do that again. That was just a huge waste of my time. I'm going to do everything myself. Can't think like that. I know it's hard. I know it's frustrating. But if you want to build something huge, you have to be able to build beyond yourself. Now, the key thing here, if you want people to stay, and don't feel bad, because a lot of entrepreneurs, you look at any successful, famous entrepreneur, you look at who their first employee was, they're often not still with the company. Companies churn employees at the beginning, and the main reason is because the people you bring on don't have the same values as you. If I'm that landscaper who believes in family and I need a website designer, I could hire a great website designer with great web skills. But if they don't believe in family like I do, then they're not going to stick. They're going to move on to something else, something that they believe in. And it's on you as an entrepreneur to get clear on what you stand for and communicate that message. The problem isn't the employees, it's you and your recruitment process. You feel what you feel. You know what you feel, but you can't articulate it. You can't communicate it. You have to get clear on what it is your company stands for. You use that in your marketing, but you also use that in your recruitment. You get people on board who believe in what you're doing, who would love doing what they're doing at your business so much that they would volunteer to do it because they love your direction, they love your vision, they love what you stand for. Those are the employees that you want. And it's not going to happen until you get clear on what your values are. I have time for one more caller. I've got Emilio on the line. Emilio, where are you from and how can I help?
I'm from Hamden, Connecticut.
All right, welcome to the program. What's going on?
Thank you. I just have a simple question. I don't want to get into too many details, but I just turned 25 years old, and I was wondering if I wanted to. I have a very great idea of starting my own business, but I know it's going to take a lot of capital, which I don't have right now. what is the first step into action from taking that idea into putting it into a plan?
Start talking to customers.
Okay.
Start talking to people who can potentially buy your product and get their feedback. See, do they like what you're doing or not?
So like investors?
No, not investors. Customers.
Okay.
Start talking to people who can potentially buy what you're going to end up creating. If you have a lot of customer interest, then you can go out and get investors. The investors aren't the problem. The problem is when most people go to investors, they just have an idea. Here's a great idea. I think it's going to work. But they have no traction. Like, show me that this is going to work. And that comes from talking to customers and getting them to say, I love this. I would spend money on this. I need to have this. I used to be in the venture capital business, so I got pitched tons of ideas, and 99% of them got rejected, mostly because it was just an idea. What are you trying to sell?
Me? Well, I was overweight my whole life. I lost about 100 pounds when I turned 18 years old. So I feel my passion is to help other people lose weight. So I would like to open the first ever, like, healthy fast food restaurant.
Okay.
A chain of them.
Okay.
And help the world, you know, because I feel like the obesity rate is over a third of the United States. And if I could help them lose weight by providing healthier food at reasonable times, it'd be, you know, dream come true.
Yeah, that's a huge problem you're addressing, and it's awesome that you've been through it.
Yeah.
If you look at so here's some more homework for you since you're just starting up. Model success. Look at every fast food chain restaurant that you can look up to their model, not to what they're selling, right? Like, you don't agree with what McDonald's is selling, right?
Yeah.
But you can respect their business model and how they've built that up.
True.
That's what you want to do for healthy fast food. So look at all of these stories. Look at how they got started. Look at how they went from that idea to opening up their first store.
Yeah.
All of them bootstrapped it up. They didn't go and get huge investors. They started with one little location. Even it could be like a side stand on the road, just something small to get started. And it became a phenomenon. They used smart marketing. They had a great message. And your story is amazing.
Thank you.
That should be front and center.
Yeah.
But you don't have to think. It's great to have the big vision. I don't want to shut that down. Like, you want to be national. This is a great vision.
Yeah.
You gotta take the steps to get there, and they're small steps. So a lot of times entrepreneurs get so caught up in the big picture that then they take no action, and you're kind of stuck as to what do I do next. The next step is to get started. Do something small.
Yeah.
Make your own line. Make it from home. Start selling them. See if people like it. Tweak your recipe. Start making a little bit of money. Like, show that people will be willing to pay you for what you're producing.
It's true.
You don't have to open up your own store to start. You could start by piggybacking on another location.
Yeah.
Something that, if you look at a health store, maybe you've gone to a supplement store or any kind of healthy-related store that doesn't sell food, you could open up a stand there every Saturday and sell your food.
True.
See if people like it. Get some feedback. Then when you go talk to investors, they're going to be more on board because you have a little bit of money coming in. You can show that people will want to buy your product.
Yeah.
Most people who do this, who go after investment, have nothing but an idea. And so they get shut down. Like, business plan goes right in the garbage. You have to show that you have more momentum behind your business. But don't let that fear hold you back. Like, don't make it seem like you have to have that investment to start this business.
Yeah.
If you research these stories of how these guys got started, McDonald's, Wendy's, all of those guys, they started from nothing. They bootstrapped it, they built it up themselves, they tested their product, and eventually got an amazing company out as a result.
Yeah.
It's exciting. You have a great story. I think it could go far.
Thank you.
Now, the next step is that you do your homework and get working.
I will. Thank you.
Okay?
Yep.
Good luck. Believe.
Thank you, Laura.
For anybody else who has a similar, have a business plan, you have an idea, you want to get it launched, you want investors, show that you have some momentum. Go to investors with something, with some customers who are paying you, not a lot of money, but something. Show me some momentum. And don't let the fear of not having enough money hold you back from doing something. Otherwise, you're going to sit for 10 years never having built anything and regretting what you've done with your life. So get to work. We're already at the end of the show. It's crazy. Time really flies. Thank you guys for joining me. I had a lot of fun. I want to thank my producers, Steve and Fernanda. You guys are great. I will be back in a couple weeks. Look forward to hearing about your businesses. Continue to grow. Continue to believe. Thank you guys. I'll see you soon.